I go off and I get a song stuck in my head, and then I'm not really focusing on the work. But there's a band from Texas called Shearwater that I really love to listen to. Their music is really ethereal and.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of getting at. I was wondering if the music sort of matched the paintings.
I try to stick with stuff that's maybe not clear. The vocals aren't very clear. I kind of try not to get, you know what I mean? To stay in that zone where.
Right. I often notice when I'm painting, I put music on that I really like, and then I don't even hear it. It just kind of.
Yeah.
I notice when it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where do you see yourself going in, like, let's say 5, 10 years? Do you think? I mean, is it hard to say? How do you see your art changing?
It's hard to say. I mean, I'm really happy and satisfied with the kind of work I'm doing now, as far as the new mythology. But I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Right. I mean.
Yeah. Think it'll always be animals?
From where I am now, yeah, I think it will always be animals.
Yeah.
It's just what I love to paint. So
now, you had said that each painting takes about a couple months to do, right?
Some take longer.
Yeah. How many paintings do you work on at the same time?
Let's see, I have probably 4 or 5 right now that I'm kind of rotating that are thematic like this, the new mythology. So, yeah.
Right. Why do you do that? Why do you work on 4 or 5 at once?
Because sometimes the detail work gets very tedious, and so I need a break from that. I need to work a little bit broader, so I'll go to something that's maybe, I'm still putting kind of the underpainting in, and it's a little bit looser, so that helps.
What's interesting is we were talking at the break, one of the big influences for you was Van Gogh. It's interesting. I don't think most people would look at this and see that, but why? Tell us what you were telling me.
Well, it's not necessarily artistically he's a big influence for me, but personally, just his story and his life, and I really resonate with a lot of things that he dealt with, like depression and things like that. So, but what's interesting to me, you were talking about seeing dark elements or elements of struggle. And when I look at his work, that's what I see. I see a lot of darkness and a lot of pain underneath his work, and I just pick up on it in ways that I don't pick up on maybe other impressionistic paintings, Yeah,
even paintings like sunflowers, you sort of pick up a darkness.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's interesting because I don't think most people would look at your work and see that influence. But now that you say that, I could sort of see that sort of that theme run through.
Yeah.
We're going to take one more break. We're going to come back with Tracey Clarke. We'll be right back with Artscape.
I've changed apartments several times. My roommates have always been trouble. Now, because of the economy, I've had to move back home. When my mom gets drunk, she tells me everything I do is going to fail. I get into arguments with her about her drinking. Dad goes to Al-Anon family groups. I didn't think Al-Anon would work for me, but every time I go, I feel better. If someone's drinking bothers you, you might find help in an Al-Anon family group meeting right here in our community. I found support there. You can too. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
Help feed these precious orphans. Show them that someone cares.
Donate now at foodfororphans.org.
A family lacks insurance, and a treatable illness gets way out of hand. The old way was a trip to the emergency room. This is the United Way. Right here in our community, United Way is changing the way, from quick fixes to real lasting change. That's what matters. That's United Way. To find out how you can help, visit unitedway.org.
Welcome back to Artscape. I'm your host, Bill Harris. I'm here with Tracey Clarke. And Tracey, we have in our laps here a few of your bird paintings.
Yep.
And you have a show coming up that's going to be 20 of these, right?
It'd be 18 of the small ones, and I've got 3 or 4 pretty large bird paintings. So yeah, at FCCA.
And that's going to run the whole month.
Whole month of July.
July, right?
Yeah.
And so you're going to have. This is 2. You're going to have 16 more of these, and 2 big ones.
Right.
And that's going to be in the. Are you a member of FCCA?
I am.
Yeah. Just tell the viewers what FCCA is. Fredericksburg Center for the Creative Arts.
Right.
And what's that like?
You mean being a member there?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you actually can go in there and see art from all over the country there. I've
Right.
often gone in there and see work from Arizona, New York.
Right. They do a lot of juried shows, and then if you're a member, then you can apply to have a show in the members gallery.
And that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing. Right.
Right. Now you had just come to Fredericksburg area about a year ago, right? And you were you looking around for like a place to maybe set up? Because you told me the story about you had called some local artists, right? And they had taken you out for coffee.
Oh yeah. The artists here have been great. They've been really supportive. So it's a really supportive community. But I've showed at FCCA before. So. Okay,
before you lived in the area.
Yeah, before I lived in the area.
Yeah. Before you'd come to Fredericksburg, were you involved in any other communities in any other areas?
No, no. We lived in Woodbridge, which is kind of out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably not much of an art community in
Not much.
Woodbridge.
I mean, there's Manassas, which is a little further out, but it's not much going on as far as getting super involved.
So, what do you think of the Fredericksburg art scene?
Love it. It's great.
Yeah,
it's
good.
really supportive. There's a lot of artists here,
which
is great. A lot of diversity, which is great.
Yeah, but like you said, that everybody's supportive, I think, for the most part. I think there are a lot of artists, but for the most part, everybody's very helpful and supportive. And
yeah, I think so too.
Now, one of the things I was thinking of with your pieces, do you do commissions? Because I could see somebody seeing your paintings and saying, "Yeah, I'd love you to do my dog," or
yeah, I actually just did a basset hound for someone.
You're kidding?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How was that?
It was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
Did you put any sort of spin on it?
No, it was
Tracey Clarke
it was
spin?
straightforward portraiture.
Yeah, I could see that. So we'll at the end of the show we'll have your website come up, and I guess people could contact you there.
Great.
Do you have any advice for young artists locally here?
I actually just took a young artist out to breakfast the other day, and there's this sort of idea that it's magical in a way, like you're just going to magically be good at it. I don't know if you experience that, but sometimes I feel that that's the way they are. But my advice would be to practice.
Yeah.
Do a lot of bad paintings, do a lot of bad drawing, and just practice.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of students get out of school and think, well, I'll just be an artist. But, yeah. I think the 200 or 300 bad paintings I did, it made me the artist I am now.
That's right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, we all have quite a bit of that. Do you still study? Do you still study technique?
I do.
Yeah. How do you go about that?
On the internet.
Is that right?
There's a lot of good information on the internet.
Yeah.
I took a painting class a couple of years ago, which was good for me to take, I think.
Yeah. I'm surprised because you don't look like you need it. I mean, your technique looks pretty sound.
Well, I think it's good to be with other artists and to have critique and challenge one another, and it's good. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, you're right.
It's easy for us to kind of go off by ourselves and not do that.
Right.
Most of us don't have the opportunity to do that, so classes are good.
When people see your work, and we already talked about sort of the sadness in them, what do you want people coming away thinking or feeling when they see your work? I mean, do you want them to come away sad, or do you want them to come away with some sort of empathy? Or?
I don't know that I want them to come away with anything. Because certainly there are people that see my work and don't. I've had people say to me, I don't get it, which is fine, which is not a problem with. I don't know. I think pairing the images with the narrative and having them engage the narrative, I'd like them to engage that a little bit and think a little bit more than just kind of make a passing glance, and which we all tend to do with art and many other things.
And you're right. Some people just won't do it. I mean, some people they're just never going to get it. And I think going back to the young artists, I think that's one thing artists have got to get used to when they first start out is, not everybody's going to love what you do.
Right.
I got plenty of people that don't like what I do. So tell me the best part of being an artist.
Oh, wow. Well, I think especially being able to be a full-time artist I think that's a dream, I think, for a lot of artists to be able to do it and to sell and to, I mean, to me, just being able to do it every day is a great thing. Yeah,
I mean, it's hardly work.
Well, sometimes it's
sometimes when you have deadlines and you're doing a show and things like that.
Yeah.
Any downsides? Anything, anything that, I guess what I'm thinking of is the people that don't know what it's like to be an artist. There's got to be some downsides to it.
There's some downsides. I think it seems to me a lot of people sort of think, oh, you just sit around and paint all day. Well, it takes quite a bit of emotional and intellectual effort to paint one of my paintings. I mean, it really does for me. I mean, I don't want to generalize and say that I have artistic angst or anything, but there's a fair amount of kind of internal dialogue that goes on, and you're constantly checking yourself and criticizing and reworking. It's problem solving, right?
Absolutely, really, yeah. And that can be a little draining.
Yeah.
You ever find yourself, especially after doing a show of all the birds, needing to take a break? Like say, look, I'm not going to paint.
I do.
Yeah? You got a break coming up, I guess, huh?
I do. Well, I have another show coming up.
So is that right?
Yeah, so I've got to get back to new mythology. It'll be new mythology work.
So you're not going to have too much of a break?
No.
No. Yeah, I don't find myself needing too much of a break, or if I do, it's like I really can't wait to get back to it. Besides the painting aspects of all this, do you do all your own framing and all that?
I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know that's one of the things that most artists don't enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's kind of tedious.
Yeah, it looks like you do a real nice job of it, though.
I try. I've learned through trial and error how to do it.
Yeah, I think that's what we all become. Once we decide to become an artist, I think we all become better at marketing ourselves and framing ourselves. The things you often will hear that artists say, like, I don't want to be a framer and I don't want to market myself. But unfortunately, we have to do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So besides the show at FCCA, you have another show coming up in Maryland.
I have a show at the HCCA, the Howard County Center for the Arts, coming up in November, and it's a new mythology show. Now,
will you be able to show some old pieces plus some new?
Yeah.
That's the one thing nice about showing out of town is you can show some old work, and for them it's new.
It's new, right?
Yeah. How other places you've shown your work? Yeah.
Oh, you mean
throughout the country? Or?
In Alexandria and also in Philadelphia. I had a show in Philadelphia, which is nice.
Yeah.
And Manassas. So
is that a big part of your plan, is to maybe try to show outside more of the area, or?
I don't have much of a plan when it comes to that. I don't know. That's a good question for me to think about. Yeah,
you told me a good story before about you have one of your patrons, because we always think of our patrons as rich people that just dole out the money, but you told a good story of a Marine.
Yeah, she's in the Navy, and she's a single mom, and she's bought several of my paintings, and she's really invested in original artwork. She's just really great, and so I work with her on payment plans, and I don't have any trouble doing that.
Yeah.
I want her to have a painting if she wants to have it.
Yeah.
So
that's nice if somebody, it costs, it's expensive for them, and
to make
payments, it really means a lot to them. So that's nice to have that.
Yeah.
Well, Tracey, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, great, thank you.
And if you have any questions or comments, my name is Bill Harris. You can reach me at billharrisart@comcast.net. Until next time, this has been Artscape.
In the mountains of Central Africa, a gorilla will spend days searching for food and fresh water. Sadly, hundreds of people from local villages are doing the same thing. The Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund International is dedicated to saving gorillas and helping people by implementing education and health programs, by providing solutions for clean water and proper nutrition, by offering access to better sanitation. Improving the lives of people in Central Africa can help save gorillas and preserve an entire ecosystem. We've made progress, but there's more work to do, so we're asking for your help. The lives of human beings and gorillas are undeniably linked. We share 98% of our DNA. Certainly we can find better ways to share this planet that we call home. Join the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund International and help save a species. Go to gorillafund.org.
A family lacks insurance, and a treatable illness gets way out of hand. The old way was a trip to the emergency room. This is the United Way. Right here in our community, United Way is changing the way, from quick fixes to real lasting change. That's what matters. That's United Way. To find out how you can help, visit unitedway.org.